Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome. We're back. We're back from the grave. They let us out of our cryotubes. They let us out of our vampire coffins. We're back. And so is Doom, sorta. It's a new Doom. Like, new Doom. We're talking about Doom the Dark Age because we love Doom and we love talking about it. With me is my good friend Connor. Yep, see? I told you. You didn't believe me.
Oh. I wasn't listening, sorry.
Yep. So, Doom the Dark Ages, just to give everybody a bit of a catch-up if you're like a baby and you don't know what we're talking about. So, at the Xbox Game Showcase that just happened, they revealed the new Doom game. We kind of already knew this game was sort of coming because there was a leak that said that the next Doom game was going to be called Doom Year Zero. And it looks like this is that, but they've called it the Dark Ages. It's supposed to be a prequel, which means it takes place in between Doom 64 and Doom 2016, if that means anything to you. It talks about how the Doomslayer became the ultimate weapon of the Night Sentinels, and how he defeated the demons originally and sent them back to hell.
Yeah. A lot of this backstory, well, it's not really in the trailer itself, but it's stuff you pick up from Doom 2016, Doom Eternal.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of obviously. And I guess, yeah, I mean...
It's one of those things where it's like, I always have the thoughts when it comes to prequel stuff, especially stuff like this, where it's like, would it just be cooler if we got to hear those stories but never actually get to see them? Maybe, but it's also, what direction do you take it in? I guess this isn't that bad of a direction to do, because it is filling in a pretty big gap in the Doom timeline. Like, I'm sorry. The Doom timeline, like, that really matters.
Yeah, it matters to Hugo Martin.
Yeah.
That's apparently the only thing that's important here.
Mm-hmm. I hope this one has a de-emphasis on lore.
Yeah,
like,
well,
I hope it's a
won't.
little more... Yeah, it probably won't. It'll probably have more lore than the other ones.
Yeah.
But,
even though, like, in a weird, like, way, it is kind of, like, establishing the lore from the previous one.
mm-hmm.
Because that's the thing that irritated the whoop out of me in Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal. It's like, you hear all this backstory about how Doom Guy was the ultimate badass, and you don't really get to experience it firsthand. And it's like, that kind of almost makes Doom Guy in these games a bit more of a character than, like, an actual, like, avatar blank
Mm-hmm.
slate for the player. And that bothers me. But I guess it's kind of getting slowly corrected now. Just
Yeah.
like how Doom 2016 used to bother me for the fact that it seemed like more of its own original game and not really connected to the previous ones at all. But then it turned out it was more than just a reboot. It was actually a sequel. Which was weird because they didn't have like a number or a subtitle for it.
Yeah, it does bother me that Doom 2016 is just called Doom and not Doom 4, because, I mean, like, think about, like, Fallout 3. Like, when Fallout 3 came out, nobody cared about Fallout 1 and 2, but everybody still played it because it was an exciting game. And I think the same thing would have happened if they'd called Doom 2016 Doom 4, you know? Like, Doom 3 is another good example. Like, Doom 3 is basically a reboot as well.
Yeah, I had no reason to have a number to it.
Yeah, so.
I don't know. I guess they're recovering from friggin' Quake.
Mm-hmm.
2 and 3 there, and I guess 4 to a lesser extent, even though that's a sequel to 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, if you've probably seen the trailer, which you should, it's only like 1 minute and 50 seconds long. It is not long at all.
No. It shows more than I expected. I expected this to kind of be like the first trailer for Doom Eternal, where it was just like literally just like a cutscene of the city destroyed, and then it says the logo.
Yeah.
So I was excited to see that there was actual gameplay showed off.
Yeah, not quite as much as any of the like teasers for Doom 2016 though.
Mm-hmm.
I remember poring over those for like hours trying to tell Greg about it, because we had to communicate by email at that time, and just like, yeah, I gotta get all these screenshots for Greg so he knows what's what. But like this, I mean, there's stuff like that in there, but I don't feel as motivated to.
Yeah.
Even though I am kind of interested to see where it goes, like I'm not that quite excited yet. I want to see a bit more.
Yeah, and it is one of those things where it's like the hype for Doom Eternal was quite high. And was the hype for Doom Eternal more or less for 2016?
I don't know. Me personally, I was very excited for 2016 just because there hadn't been a Doom game in forever, or at least I wasn't into the series
Yeah.
for a new game to come out. Because obviously Doom, 3 came out when we were alive.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the other ones are, Final Doom, technically, maybe, I don't know. Some other stuff, but I remember being excited for Doom Eternal, but then I guess when it got delayed or whatever, it kind of withered on me.
Distracted.
Yeah. But I don't know.
Yeah, I would say my hype for this isn't as high. I would like for that to change, but at the same time, it's one of those things where it's just, I don't see how it could, just because Doom Eternal was really good and it was really exciting, and for me, it kind of came out at the perfect time. It happened right at the beginning of the pandemic, so I had plenty of time to play it and really get into the game, which was cool. It came with Doom 64, which was a big deal as well.
Yeah, that was nice.
This one, it's another one where we're going into kind of foreign territory, which that was kind of why I wasn't as excited for Doom 2016, because I was like, okay, it's a new Doom game, but what does that even mean? It turns out it's a new Doom game. Surprise, surprise. I kind of expected that 2016 was going to change more stuff than it did, which I'm glad it didn't.
Yeah.
But this one, what I'm trying to say is that Doom Eternal was a more polished version of Doom 2016. This one looks like it's kind of just going in its own different direction. And because of that, it's hard to get as excited for it because you don't know how enjoyable that'll be. And obviously, they have game developers, they have game testers. They know if the game sucks or not. But it's one of those things where it's still I don't know,
Yeah.
Will this one be the black sheep of the family, the Halo Reach, if you will?
Is that a legitimate question?
Rhetorical.
Yeah, rhetorical. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. Doom.
I just wanted really people to reson in the fact that I said that Halo Reach sucks.
Oh.
Yep.
I thought you liked Reach.
I do kind of like Reach, but I don't think it's the best one where a lot of people put it there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I agree there.
I think it's good in a jank way. It's still an enjoyable first-person shooter, but it's not as polished as the other games.
Yeah, I haven't played it enough. But
yeah.
But yeah, no, going back to what you were saying. So the thing that I kind of... I remember hearing the initial, news about this. Greg was talking about it. The whole, they're kind of going back to basics a bit somehow, even though it doesn't look like it.
Yeah.
I have yet to have that be confirmed for me by what I've seen of, the gameplay and stuff. But, they're going back to, a more slower paced, 2D Doom. There's not going to be as much verticality, apparently, to the level design.
Yeah, less jumping around, less flipping, less meat hooks.
Yeah, and then another comment I heard, and I think this was from Hugo Martin himself. He said that, movement in this was going to be you're a garbage truck.
Yeah.
And it's I don't know how I feel about that.
I don't know how I feel about that analogy.
Yeah,
if I was trying to sell someone, I'd be like, dude, it's going to be great. It's going to be just like a garbage truck.
It would be a freaking hover tank, or say a tank, because that's probably what he meant.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. But now kind of looking at it and thinking about it, it's they're probably noticing what all the indie boomer shooters have been doing. Not necessarily stuff that's innovative really, but just stuff that's different and kind of unique. Mm-hmm. And I think they're trying to do something similar for Doom, even though I don't think Doom's the best IP to do that with.
Yeah, I agree.
But it's the one that has the most brand recognition out of what they have, at least what they still produce. Because honestly, this it'd be weird if this was a Quake game.
Yeah,
it's they could. I don't know if they have the rights to Hexen or Heretic or who has those anymore.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Those rights are always up in the air.
But even that, it those are more fantastical. This still has a lot of the sci-fi elements that were established in Doom. So maybe if they had went with any of those other IPs, aesthetically it would have looked a little bit different, but maybe had sort of similar gameplay. But yeah, I don't know. I'm at the point where it's I don't think Doom was the right choice for this, but I can kind of see what they're trying to do with it.
I think the biggest what's going to be the biggest gameplay adaptation into this one that's going to separate it from the other ones is that you have the shield that you can use to block or to... I've seen some people say you can parry with it. I don't know if that's completely accurate. So I was always under the assumption that parrying is where you like jump out of the way.
That's dodging.
That's dodging? Okay. I haven't played Dark Souls in a long time, so I'm not
That's
totally
in
up
more
to
games than just Dark Souls.
It's in real life as well.
Right, in real life too.
Yeah.
No, like parrying is like usually like because obviously you have a block, then like a parry is usually you try to deflect the opponent's attack so they're in like a compromised position.
Okay.
So that's how you can get some sort of advantage with it. And like here, I guess that would like equate to maybe like getting a glory kill or something like that, because that was a thing that Greg pointed out. It's like there really weren't any glory kills. It just seemed like
there was
standard melee attacks being used or something.
So like that's why I think is that you're going to be using that shield nonstop throughout the game, both to block attacks, but also to like use it to parry enemies to get a moment where you can hit them or something. I think the combat's going to be different. And the other thing I think is going to be different about the combat is I think we're going to see a lot less of the classic guns, which breaks my heart because, you know, I love the classic guns and stuff. I mean, we still have the super shotgun, but I don't think the regular shotgun is going to be in the game. Because like you see in the trailer, there's that scene where he gets the shield and he gets the shotgun and he gets zapped down to the planet.
Which almost looks like it could be the opening cutscene.
Yeah, I think it is going to be the opening cutscene because it's very similar to the opening cutscene of Doom Eternal. So I feel like they're just going to, I'm like 95% sure that's going to be the opening. And I don't know how I feel about that because if the super shotgun's the only shotgun, then it's not super. It's just a shotgun. Like, and this probably sounds stupid to most people, but like, I don't know. I'm afraid that they're going to nerf the super shotgun. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Like, it'll feel less cool, and I'm afraid that that's going to be the only OG gun, even though it wasn't in the first Doom game, it was in the second one.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, yeah, that'd be a really weird move. It's like a Quake 3 move.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, yeah, the interesting thing I noticed, and this might be an upgrade later on, or maybe it's just playing into the whole slower movement thing, there's no meat hook.
Yeah, I saw that as well.
Yeah, no meat hook, and...
no grenades either. He doesn't have the little grenade launcher.
Yeah, he doesn't have the little shoulder
So,
cannon.
I mean, grenades could still be in it. Like, he could do it, just throw them like he did in 2016, but he doesn't have the little launcher or the little flamethrower launcher. And again, he could get them later in the game. We don't know. I think it might light his bear cape on fire, though, if he's using the flamethrower back there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gave Doom guy a cape.
Mm-hmm. Do you want to go off topic a little bit and talk about his new design?
Yeah, I mean, it's not, like, terribly different.
No.
At least, like, in a lot of ways. Like, the armor design looks pretty much the same. The helmet's kind of different. It's got more of, like, an angular look to the visor.
Mm-hmm.
Which I guess is to try to make it look more, like, Night Sentinel-y.
Yeah, like it's kind of got, like, a little bit more... I don't know if medieval is the correct word, but medieval punk style, where he's got, like, spiky shoulders and stuff.
Oh, yeah, that too.
So it is a cool look. Like, as soon as I saw the Slayer, I was like, oh, that's a cool design. I mean, again, not too different than Eternals, but it still looks like a cool design for him.
Yeah.
I was afraid. I figured they were going to give him the... because you know how you get, like, that weird... It's like a gladiator type armor in Doom Eternal. It's one of, like, the first ones you could unlock, where it's, like...
the training armor.
The training armor, yeah. I was afraid he was going to have that for the whole game. So I was happy to see that it is a little Space Marine guy.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I thought he got the Praetor suit after he got back from... I forget when he gets the Praetor suit. I thought he would still have his, like...
Yeah, I'm like 95% sure this is going to break so much lore. Like, Hugo Martin's going to talk about how, oh, yeah, we paid attention to the lore and stuff, and then as soon as it comes out, everyone's going to be like, oh, well, this just got retconned. This doesn't make any sense.
How many additional writers do you think this one's going to have? Scenario writers.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Like, I don't know, 4 seemed kind of pushing it for what they had with Doom Eternal.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how many were in 2016.
I hope less.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. That's just funny, because I remember the thing people praising about 2016. It's like, oh yeah, this game doesn't give a shit about the story, even though it's there. But then Doom Eternal, nope, that's all out the window.
Well, it wasn't even... like that. Like Doom Eternal, like the base campaign was for the most part didn't care about story, and then you play the Ancient Gods and it just has all of this just like just stupid lore and stuff, and it was just I didn't like it. I don't care about who the father is. I don't care about the Archangel or the Seraphim or whatever he's called, or Samuel Hayden, which was the greatest twist in video game history. Like, oh, the evil Doom guy. Oh goodness, sorry, this is becoming a rant. Oh man, we might have to do an Ancient Gods revisited video, but we also might not hate ourselves that much.
I haven't played Doom Eternal in forever, and like to go back to it just to play the Ancient Gods, I might kill myself.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I would not. I would not unalive myself. I want to put that clear.
Yep, no unaliving.
I don't know.
What is it? Last time I played Doom Eternal, it didn't go so well for me because I played it and I was like, yeah, I'm still burnt out from the Ancient Gods.
Yeah,
and that's too bad. But I don't know. I mean, this game will probably renew some hype for me, so I'll probably revisit it. I should probably revisit 2016 first.
I need to revisit 2016. I haven't given like a proper campaign playthrough for that in a long time.
Yeah,
which is a shame, but it's gonna be weird.
Yeah, it's gonna be super weird. I still need to beat Plutonia. Okay, maybe not. I should beat Plutonia. I don't need to.
I'm gonna be. Oh, I still got Plutonia too, but we're talking about 2016.
Yeah, we're
and
talking
onward.
about
Doom. Like I can go back to classic Doom whenever.
Oh yeah, easily.
I still got to beat knee deep in Z Doom.
Yep. Let me think. What we haven't talked about yet. The enemies.
Yeah.
So in the trailer, just from the stuff I saw, there's the Mancubus. There's generic zombie soldiers. There's the weird alien-looking zombies from Doom Eternal, which I don't know if those will be in the final game because it looked like it was the exact same model, just like ripped.
Yeah, and the flame cannon ones, like
there were flame cannon guys, but they weren't the same as the ones in Eternal. Like they looked different.
Yeah, they did look a little different, but
they're like the generic zombies that just walked around and could bite you, but I think that was their only attack.
Yeah, right.
Those ones, I saw some of those.
Mecha zombies, that's what those are called.
Yeah, those guys were awesome.
I hated them. Arachnotrons, these little floating things that look like Octobrains from Duke Nukem, but I think are more akin to their Arachnorbs or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, what?
I don't even know. That's a custom Doom
those?
enemy that's been around for a long time.
Realm 667, probably.
Yeah.
I don't know.
There's a guy that I think is supposed to be a Revenant, and when he shoots his attack, it might be Lost Souls, because they're like little skulls coming out, and I don't know if they're supposed to be Lost Souls or if he's just literally shooting skulls at you. He fights a Titan at one point, which was good. I guess that's the other thing we should talk about.
Well, no, there's still some more like small enemies.
Yeah.
There was you said it looked like a guy riding a pinky.
Yeah, there was a guy that was riding some type of pink demon, and I think that's a cool idea for an enemy.
Yeah, kind of different. It's weird that the pinkies aren't that they are bipedal.
And it might be just be like a variant of the pinky. They might have regular pinkies and then
maybe they have ones that are
daddy pinkies or something.
Yeah, or they have ones that like walk on all fours.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird.
Oh, then there's this big weird Baron-looking character. Like he doesn't look exactly like a Baron, but at the end of it, he fights this big cyber. I don't want to say cyber demon because it's not a cyber demon, but it is a cyber baron, but it's also not a cyber baron. It's a new enemy, and he's got like a sword and a robot arm and stuff.
And he's got like a cape too, kind of.
Yeah, I think so. And I thought he looked pretty cool.
Yeah,
I was happy to see that they're still doing some cyber stuff. I was afraid that it was all just going to be Hellforge and stuff. I mean, we probably won't see any tech bases, which I think is a big loss, but I understand that this is the third game in the series, of the reboot series, I mean. So they have to try to spice things up. But what I really want to say is, what enemies are you hoping they're going to put in? And which enemies are you hoping aren't put in?
Anything from the Ancient Gods, pretty much.
Yes.
No, I like the Cyber Barons.
Yeah, the Cyber Baron was
Cyber
cool.
Barons, the Riot Trooper zombies when they actually decided to work.
Mm-hmm.
Screw the Cursed Prowlers or whatever they're called.
Prowlers in general. We don't need them.
The regular ones are all right.
Well, they weren't. Yeah, they were all right, but
Yeah.
I think they're like responsible for like a third of all of my deaths in that game.
Yeah. I would like to see an Archvile maybe that works a bit more like a classic one.
Yeah.
Maybe not like a like I don't know how they would handle the resurrection thing because they usually just have the like enemy bits like they disappear. So, but something more akin to that maybe like bring back the summoner maybe.
Yeah, that could be cool.
Just kind of like a different kind of almost Archvile type enemy, but like yeah, just give the summoning thing to them, and then like maybe some other unique ability to the Archvile that feels a bit more like the classic one. Make Lost Souls actually
a thing.
Yeah, a thing, and not stupid, not kind of pointless to fight. Like I know it makes sense to kind of have them be a kamikaze type enemy.
Yeah,
but it's I don't know, like it. I know
at
a lot
this
of
point, I mean, think about it. If you're playing this with the shield thing, you could have them, they charge at you, and you can block them with the shield, and then when you block them, they have the chance to fly off and hit another enemy.
Yeah, or
like
you
that would
parry
be
them
cool.
into another enemy.
Yeah,
It's
something like that.
It's like baseball, kind of.
Or even just do what they do in Brutal Doom, where you can if you hit them at the exact right moment, then you can catch them and chuck them at people. I don't think Brutal Doom created that, but it was in Brutal Doom.
Yeah, no, that would be funny.
Yeah, I think there's a lot you can do with the Lost Souls.
Yeah, I know people hate the classic Lost Souls, but I don't know. Like the thing that about Doom Eternal and Doom 2016 is that like the pest enemies in those games just are not. I don't know. Like I think that was the one thing that Doom 3 almost kind of had.
Mm-hmm.
Right, like just swarm type enemies, but I don't know. Like maybe something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe not the cherubs though. Maybe not bring those back.
I'd like to see another Spider Mastermind.
Yes, as like a kind of like how they did the Tyrant.
Yeah, kind of how they did the Tyrant.
Eternal.
I'd like to see him be a little bit stronger because I don't know. I felt like the Tyrants were just like a little too weak in Doom Eternal, which is stupid to say because they're one of the strongest enemies. But it wasn't fighting the Tyrant wasn't the same as fighting a Cyber Demon in like Doom 2, And I would like to see some enemies that are a bit more beefy,
Yeah, and I think that's what we're gonna probably get.
Yeah, we probably will.
But I don't know. Like, I don't know. The one thing that I want from all this at the moment, I would like a playable demo before the game comes out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how likely that is because there really wasn't one, at least not for the single player for 2016, and there wasn't one for Doom Eternal. And I don't know if they had anything at like E3 or whatever. They had any like.
I remember there was a game convention where you could play some of Mars Core. Because I remember watching people, and I remember seeing. I think it was G-Man Lives was talking about how
that's right. It. Yeah, but I mean like something that you can get like off of Steam or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just put there's like a little 10-minute demo on Steam. I think that would be enough.
Yeah. And I don't know. Like we don't really know too much now. I mean I would rather just kind of wait before I speculate and create a real wish list.
Mm-hmm.
Even though there are a lot of things I'd want and a lot of those are unchanged from the 10 things or the 5 things that Doom Eternal needs video. But I don't know. Yeah, it's still kind of early.
Mm-hmm.
Even though the game's coming out next year, still a lot to learn about it. But it's looking like something.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't know if there's anything else you wanted to say on it.
I'm trying to think. I feel like I have said most of what I want to say about it. The art direction is a bit different. Do you remember how in Doom Eternal they had the different filters you could use?
Yeah.
And one of them was called the cinematic filter, which just made everything look like a Zack Snyder movie. That's kind of how this one looks. It's a lot less colorful than Doom Eternal.
It's the Dark Ages,
Rob.
Yeah. It's got to be
It is the Dark Ages. So it does make sense. I just think that's something interesting to point out.
Yeah. And there are some bright areas in it by the looks of it. It'll probably have slight variety to it, like Doom Eternal had. Well, that had a lot of variety with environments, but I guess they're probably be a little bit more limited in this one,
Yeah.
but there'll still be some.
I think the mech sections will be fun, but I think the dragon sections might be terrible. And that's just based off of other video games I've played that have had really crappy dragon flying mechanics. The dragon's head looks a lot like the Cyber Demon from Doom 3. Like, when they first showed it, I was like, is that the Cyber Demon from Doom 3? I'm like, oh no, it's just the dragon.
And it might be on purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. Interesting. I didn't even think about that.
Mm-hmm. I think it is good that they're putting it that you can fly the dragons. I'm pretty sure there's going to be evil dragons you can fight too.
Yeah. Shoot with your laser mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I am more excited for this game than I was 2 weeks ago. I can say that.
Yeah.
I do want to do some like more just like Doom videos. Kind of how I did like some just like basic Doom update videos. Not a ton, but just kind of what we did for Doom Eternal. I think that would be fun to do.
Yeah.
But if you guys don't want me to do those videos, I won't. Like, just let me know.
I don't know. So yeah, that was.
I at least want to do the one about 5 things that Doom: The Dark Ages needs, because I just want to be able to rant about multiplayer.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
So I don't have to make that one this time.
No, I mean, you can definitely contribute.
Yeah. Number 1 on my list: no soundtrack from Mick Gordon.
I guess I'll talk about that. I think it's so funny how many people are online and were like, "Yo, this game looks cool, but it just won't be the same without Mick Gordon." And it's like, okay, like, I mean, I'm not saying that he did a bad job for Eternal soundtrack, because I think he did a good job for Eternal soundtrack, but I also think that some of the Andrew Holschult tracks from the Ancient Gods are also really good, you know? And I do have a love-hate relationship with Andrew Holschult. Like, some of the music he does is just, like, perfect. And sometimes when he'll cover a song, he just kind of misses the point. Like, his cover of Into Sandy City just kind of feels generic. And his cover of the Funeral for Queen Mary from Rise of the Triad also isn't how I would have done it. But, I mean, he does great work. And it hasn't been confirmed that he's the one that's going to do it, but it seems pretty likely that he'll do it, just because he does the music for so many Doomer shooters and stuff, and he did the music for the Ancient Gods,
Yeah.
and he did the music for Quake Champions, so it makes sense that they would ask him, but we'll have to wait and see, you know? And there's a chance that Mick Gordon could come back, but it's a very slim chance, and I wouldn't expect it. How funny would it be, though, if the soundtrack for Doom: The Dark Ages comes out before the soundtrack for Doom Eternal?
Well, it probably will.
Yeah, it basically 100% has been confirmed that it will. Just based off logic and reason.
How did they ever make Doom before Mick Gordon
Yeah.
made the Doom 2016 soundtrack, Robbie? How did that happen?
Bobby Prince walks into the room, drops the mic, and then pulls out like a keyboard that only has like 15 keys on it. Ding, 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 ding. Doom: The Dark Ages of music.
Yeah, it's going back to MIDI.
Yeah, I would.
That's the curveball.
That would be so cool. Like, this is just me like being a stupid fanboy, but like if they had like an option where you could change all of the music to MIDI versions of all the songs, that would be so cool.
That'd be friggin' funny though. It's
Yeah.
like, because like back in the day, it was like between like MIDI and like CD, like when CDs became a thing, and like just like having an option for like crap. What would that be? Like the hardware, like it was like your computer hardware that would be playing it, as opposed to like just reading off the disc, like the software. Going back to that now, like there wouldn't be any difference because a lot of games are not on disc. And like even on like an Xbox or something, that'd be funny too. It's like, play MIDI. Even though that's not how it would be, it'd just be a separate file. Yeah.
Yep. So I think that's basically everything I wanted to say.
Same here.
I expect we'll probably do another one of these around QuakeCon, because I would be very surprised if they didn't do any big reveal at QuakeCon.
DoomCon.
Yeah.
So yeah. So, and there'll probably be some minor news in the meantime.
Mhm.
We'll kind of be on the lookout for it. But I don't know. We've been wanting to do more of the Scramblecast type stuff. Just hasn't been. Well, it's been working out, but it's not been
Perfect.
yeah, to say the least. Yeah, just when you have a job where you have to stare at a computer screen for 8 hours a day, and then in your off time you stare at a computer screen to edit something.
It makes it hard.
Yeah, kind of. And sometimes it's just laziness.
Yeah.
Yeah, there might be a very, very belated Scramble cast on the way soon. So hopefully this one comes out. This one that we're recording now comes out soonish, and then this other one will come out after that. It's gonna be a weird mishmash though.
Yep.
But it always is. Alrighty.
Take care, everybody. Game hard.
Bye.